Alright, well, I guess let's do this thing. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is, of course, Drake Johnson. Welcome back to my channel. And today we are starting up a brand new series. Well, more like rebooting a series. If you guys are from my CAD and MDT series, then you guys know that I stopped making them. But now, I'm starting to make them again and remake them and redo them. So instead of going from where we left off last time, I'm restarting from scratch. I noticed a lot of people keep posting questions that are easily answerable had I, Drake Johnson, just simply explained what I was doing. So, this will be a bit different in the sense that I'm going to explain in depth exactly what I'm doing as I'm doing it. So, if you are semi-advanced or you're more than a very basic bottom bare knowledgeable person about Bubble, you're going to find this series very draining and very boring, so I apologize. But I feel like a lot of you guys are starting off from the very bottom. A lot of you guys who are looking this video up, who need to know how to make this, who want to know how to make this, you're starting from ground zero, and you're trying to do a ground 30 thing. The very first thing I urge you all to do is the Bubble tutorials. Right here, when you log in, on the left-hand side, click Lessons. Go to Interactive Tutorials, and do these. Honestly, you can stop. After, like, defining a field as a list of things, using APIs, if you want to learn how to do all this stuff, you can. But do saving data. Just do the very basic. You need to know how to save data to do anything with Bubble. Building a sign-up system. You need to know how to do this. I urge you all, please, create your Bubble account, go through these interactive tutorials. Alright, now that we got that done, this here, that we're loading in now, is a brand new application. There's nothing on this besides one. I was going to record this earlier and I didn't, but that's the only thing. I deleted it. Now it's completely scratch. All I did was click the new app button. On the left-hand side, that thing opens up. Click on Start with a blank sheet or Start with a blank page, whatever it says. That's all I've done so far. The very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the homepage. This episode is just going to be on signing people up, and that's it. That's it. That's all we're going to do. So, we're going to call this here page title. This here is what shows up in the top bar. So page title is what shows up right here. My page title is going to be login/register. I'm gonna put a little up and down thing there with the shift / key right below your space bar, and I'm gonna put in here my MCC or PRP, police roleplay. There you go. We'll do police roleplay. For your background style, I always go down to flat color. And I like dark color schemes, so we're going to do a darker color scheme here. Preset page width. Go the full width. It should set your width to 1200. Make this element fixed width. Uncheck this box. What that does is it'll basically say, hey, don't change my size. So you'll notice when we load this up, how there's white bars on the side here, we want this all to be black. So with this update, when I refresh, you'll see it's going to expand the full page because it's not fixed width. It's a variable width. Perfect. That's exactly what we want. Now, we're going to do a couple of bit of different stuff with data. So let's break this down with data. All data is stuff that's being stored. It's basically your saved stuff. Simple. For this here, we're going to be able to have the ability to set an access password and be able to approve and deny users. So in this user field, I want to store a couple different things. My field name first, I want to store their name. Who are they? That's sort of important. The field type, this here is what it's going to store as. So it can store as a text, it can store as a number, numeric range, dates, a date range, interval, a yes, no, also known as a true or false. You'll see throughout Bubble, it's called true, false, or yes, no. It's the same thing. True, false, true is yes, no is false. A file, so if you want somebody to upload something and save it to their profile or something, you could do that. An image, if you want to go as far as have profile images, you could do profile image, type of image. Geographic address, if you want them to be able to save their personal address. And then you'll see here it says user. So anything that you have being saved, any types, which are like users a type, you can actually create a field with that type. Let me show you an example of that real fast. So new type, we're going to use civilians later on, so we'll go ahead and create a new type of civilian. We're not going to use anything with this yet, but we're just going to create it. Simple. Now in user, if I hit create a new field, now I want to store, like, I don't know, active civilian, which would be completely stupid. We'll never do this. You don't need to store active civilian at any point in time. Do you ever need to do this? But you'll see here, now underneath user, it has civilian. You could create field, and that now you have a field saved in the user called civilian. Okay, fantastic. So in here, we're going to create type of name, and the field name is name. The field type is text. It's not a list. We're not having multiple names, just one name. We also want to be able to store, let's see, name, maybe, what else do we need from them? Name, email. We do need to see if they're approved, so is approved. And this is going to be that yes, no we talked about, true, false. Is approved is a yes, no. And here's the default value. So anything you put in these defaults, if you don't set them in your workflow at any point, when you create the account, it'll set to this default. So this default is going to be false, excuse me, it's going to be false. Okay, fantastic. So we have is approved is false, name, whatever. So this here index page, your home page is called index, just know that. For any websites, if you do an index is the main page. So if we go to google.com, you'll see this is the same thing if I do /index. No, it's not, but Google's special, okay? But like most websites, if like the citation I'm in college, obviously, so you know, we'll do /index. This is their homepage. If you add /index to the website, it'll redirect you to their homepage. It'll remove the /index, but it's the index. You'll see in here, this doesn't have anything /version test, but there is no /index. It's the homepage of the website. Fantastic, we got that out of the way. But now we want the index to be the login and register page, but what if they already have an account? Well, we're going to add a new page. We're going to call this here home. This is going to be the page they go to. I'm going to clone from index. That way it copies the background color and the style. It'll copy the background color, the width, it being not fixed width. It'll copy all that for us. So the very first thing I want to do is I want to go to workflow. These here are all the things they're going to run at certain points. So we're going to add an event, general, pages loaded. For the most part, you don't want to do pages loaded stuff. It'll bog down your web page, but for this, we sort of need to. We don't really have an option here. So we do want, this here's a little box that you have your stuff in. So you can change the event color for whatever reason you want it to. It doesn't really matter. It's mainly for organizational purposes. I'm going to leave it as gray. But we do want to set this only when, because we only want this to happen whenever current user is logged in. I'm sorry, is approved is yes. So what this is saying is when the page is loaded and the current user that's logged in is approved is yes, so they are approved, then do whatever this here has. So we're going to go to navigations, go to page, destination, home. So it'll redirect them there. Perfect. So now if they load the page and they're already logged in, they're already approved, they're good to go, it'll just redirect them. It'll say, nope, get out of here. On this home page, we're going to do the exact same thing, but a little opposite. We're going to go general, pages loaded. Only when current user is approved is no. Navigations, go to page, index. So basically, if they are not approved, we want to kick them out of the home page and say, no, 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 you're not logged in or you're not approved. Get out of here. We ain't falling for that shit. And it will go to the index. Let's test that out, actually, because we're not logged into any account yet, because we haven't created an account for us or anything. You'll see here, it redirected me here. It redirected me there. Because we're on the home page here. If we hit preview, it redirects us to the index. You can see that if I disable this workflow, then I hit preview. You see here how it says /home, right here, it says /home. Let's re-enable this workflow, refresh, and that /home goes away. It's no more /home. Excellent. Now we do want to change this home page here, this here page title. We'll just change this here to home. All right, let's go back to index and let's create our login page. Now you guys can do whatever you want here. You can add an image with your community's logo. Do whatever you want with this page. I'm just gonna add a text because obviously this is a fake community that I just invented off the top of my head. We're gonna, yeah. So text, this here's gonna be my roleplay group's name. So this here style is basically what style the text is gonna be in. I always change it to blank and then customize it. It's technically better if you guys like use actual styles. It helps for like page loading and stuff, but you know, I don't really care enough to do that, so I'm just gonna do some basic UI stuff here. You can just change it. It's just like your word editor or whatever. You can change the font, whatever you want to change. Now there are two ways to center stuff if you want to center stuff. If you right click something, you can go to center horizontally. It'll center it horizontally, or you can come up here, click on whatever you want, click on, have whatever you want highlighted, go to arrange, and then center horizontally. There's two ways to do that. I prefer right clicking though. That's my personal favorite thing to do. Now we're gonna create a group. All the group is basically saying, hey, make sure all these elements are together. Make sure all these elements stay together. This group, we're gonna call this here, we can leave it as group A, it doesn't really matter. Because we're gonna have both of our login forms together. One thing I do like to do is I always like to make my groups fixed width, because I do want the background to expand, but I don't really like that expanding, if it doesn't need to. Now, like I said, this is going to host both of our login and register pages on the same page. I don't like doing the whole click here to register, click here to log in, back and forth thing. I prefer just to have it all on one page. So if they need to log in, they can log in. If they need to register, they can register. Now, since I'm having both on the same page, I'm going to separate these. That way I know which one's going where with groups. Again, groups. So I want this here, well, group B, I'm going to call this here login. And this right side, group C, I'm going to call it register. Let's see what this is about here. Alright, so we're going to call this here, well, we already did that, sorry guys. I'm gonna make it a little dark. I like the darker color schemes, so I'm gonna stick with the darker color scheme here for this. You guys can't see on here, there's a lot of stuff you can change, a lot of customizations. I'm gonna customize this a little bit, make the border width be a little more circular, be a little more rounds. I wanna make the same color for consistency's sake. Roundness of 10 like the other one. Login, for login forms we don't really need that much, so I'm just going to make this a little smaller, because login we don't really need much information. And honestly, for our register we don't need that much either, so we'll just leave this down a little bit. Just resizing stuff. So we're going to create a text here. And this text is just going to be login. This is just basically letting the user know, hey, here's where you log in at, you know, simple stuff. This is all just user interface stuff, which you guys can figure out for yourselves. Nothing too difficult here yet. We'll right click, center horizontally. Now we do need an input. Here's our input. And this input placeholder is going to be email. I'm going to call this here login email. The reason for that is because we're going to have two email inputs. So I don't want them called the same thing. Content format, email. Then I'm going to copy this, Control C, Control V. A little tip for you guys, if you use Shift and your arrow keys, it will move stuff around on the page. So if I hit Control C, Control V, I hold Shift, I hold Shift, I'm still holding Shift here, hold Shift, press the arrow keys twice, up twice, it's in the same spot. You can move them, you can do fine 1 pixel adjustments by using your arrow keys. If you hit Shift, if you hold Shift while you hit the arrow keys, it does bigger distances quicker. Something to play around with there. password, placeholder is gonna be password, and this is gonna be login password. We're gonna create a button, and this button is going to be login. Right click, center this horizontally. You'll see here there's a lot of pre-default buttons you can choose from, different button styles you can choose from. I'm gonna use the warning button style because that looks nice. I like that color. Make this a little bit bigger, a little closer to that text. That's 5 pixels, that's 6. Let's make that even. There we go. Make this smaller. Excellent. So a little bigger. Perfect. Now we're going to do the same thing for this side. I'm going to hit Control-C, Control-V, and just drag these over here. I held Shift while I was clicking on that as well, just to copy them. Copy them both at the same time. Right-click, submit. Center horizontally, center horizontally, center horizontally. We do need to change this here to register email. Password, register password. We're going to call this here register. Oops. That's 7 pixels. That's 987. Up 2 more. There we go. Now I do want to copy this here password because this is going to be confirm password. We're going to call this here register password confirm. And then we need to copy the email one. Doesn't really matter which one. There we go. This here is going to be name, so they can input their name here. And this is going to be register name. We're going to copy this login button. Bring it over here, center it horizontally. And obviously call this here register. So, everything we've done this far has been just user interface. Nothing too difficult at all. So now we're going to get into I guess you could call it coding. It's not really coding. It's more just plug and play, figuring out how to do a certain thing. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But into the more difficult-ish stuff. And right now, it's nothing too difficult yet. Nothing too difficult. So with login, we're going to hit Start Edit Workflow. After we click on Login, hit Start Edit Workflow. We're going to go to, yeah. You'll see here, it creates a new workflow and changes our page over to workflow. This here is basically saying whenever the button login is clicked. When button login is clicked, we're going to add an action, and the first thing we want to do is go to accounts, log the user in. You'll see Bubble is very kind about this. They made this very simple for us to do. Email, login, emails, value. You can see now why we put login, register. You can see now, because look at all this stuff. We'd have no idea. Password, login, passwords value. Stay logged in, defaults to yes, you can leave that, it's fine. And then we're going to do navigation, go to page, home. But wait, what if they're not approved yet? That's a good question. We need to do only when current users is approved is yes. If they're not approved, we need to tell them, hey, you're not approved yet. So we're going to look under visual elements here, and you'll see one that says alert. There it is. Drag that anywhere. We're going to just make it right underneath the login screen. Oh, whoops. Yeah, so just draw the alert on there. Sorry, guys, I had to spit something out of my mouth. I was chewing on something. Take a drink of water here real fast. Hold on. Okay. So, we're going to create the alert here. I changed this down to danger alert. Basically, it's red. It's saying, hey, hey, hey. Look at me, look at me. You could do warning. I feel like this looks like a sticky pad to me, and I don't know. I don't think that would convey, hey, look at me. But we're going to do, yeah, so go to page home if they're approved. But wait, what if they're not approved? Well, let's go to element actions, alert, show alert. Alert A, that's the only alert on the page, so we know it's that one. And we're going to hit change the alert message. Your account has not yet been approved. Please talk to a community staff member to get approved. Obviously, you can put whatever you want here. It doesn't matter. But this here is going to be only when current users is approved is no. Not only do we want that to happen, though, we also want to make sure that we log that user out. So we're going to add an extra action, account, log the user out. Only when current users is approved is no. Excellent. So we have them being registered. So let's do register. I'm sorry, we had them being able to get logged in, but now they need to be able to register. Let's do start edit workflow. Same thing here. Button register just clicked. This time, so hitting log the user in, we're going to do sign the user up. The email is going to be, I'm sorry, nope. Register emails value. Password, register passwords value. We are going to require a password confirmation. Registered password confirm. We're going to change another field. We're going to change name equals to register names value. Now, we could also change is approved equals to no. However, if you remember, when we set this up, is approved is going to default to false. So if we don't set it to anything, it doesn't matter. It'll still be false by default. So now they have... Now we need to create an alert, basically telling them, hey, your account's been created and is pending approval. We're going to create another alert here. And this here, I'm going to make it information or success. Yeah, we'll do success. We'll make it green. Start edit workflow, get on this, sign the user up. Then we're going to log the user out. Then element actions, we're going to show focus. Here we go. Show focus, alert B. Your account has been created and is pending approval from a community staff member. There we go. Pretty simple. We also want to reset the inputs just for clean everything up. Reset inputs. What reset inputs does is basically once you hit the register button, it'll clear out all of these boxes to be blank again, just by default. Let's go ahead and refresh this page and just see how everything looks. Nice. I like the look of this. My roleplay group's name, so whatever your group is named here. Log in, register. We're going to create an account here. STYX. Okay, no we're not, because it didn't work very well. 871@gmail.com. We're going to set a password here. Oh, you see, if you get this error, that's because we forgot to do something. In name here, the content format is still an email, because I copied that email input. I need to change it to text. That's very important, or else it'll tell you it's invalid. We're just going to create our account here. We hit register. There we go. Your account has been created as pending approval from a community staff member. If you feel like that went away too quickly, which I sort of do, I feel like that went away rather quickly. We're going to hold it for 5,000 milliseconds, which is 5 seconds. I'm actually going to do the same thing for this one as well, because I feel like 2 seconds is going to be a little too long for that. There we go. Or too short. So now we have our account. Let's try to log in. Let's see if it works. Your account has not been approved. Please talk to a community staff member to get approved. So, we don't really have a way to approve or disapprove anyone yet. But we are going to go ahead and manually approve ourselves. How we can do that, if we go down here to data, and we go to app data, click on your all users, click this little pencil icon here to edit. We're going to change is approved from false to true. And hit save. Now, if we hit login, we get redirected to this here homepage, and we're home. You can tell because it says /home. Up here it says home PRP. So guys, that's going to conclude this episode. I hope you guys are as excited as I am that this series is back. I hope I'm being a lot more explanatory in my reasonings here, and I hope you guys are understanding what I'm saying, and I hope you guys grasp the concepts behind what we're learning here. If you have any questions, feel free to join my Discord below. It is Drake Johnson YouTube channel Discord. There you can find out a bunch of people who's willing to help you out and give you advice. And if you have any problems throughout the series, post in there. I'm active there a lot, so if I see your question and I'm available to help you, I'll either direct message you, we'll get into a Discord call, I'll help you out however I can. But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, I'm Drake Johnson. Peace out, Girl Scouts.